Man, I want to ask you something Columbus Short said since we talking about that.
Sure.
He said he got some heat for saying that black men are dating outside their race because most black women are raised by single mothers and absentee fathers and taught a don't need a man mentality. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, here's what I would say to my brother Columbus Short, and I'm a fan of his. Are we not all victims of the systemic oppression and injustice that racism has introduced into our community? So just as you have black women who didn't grow up with their father, you have black men who didn't grow up with their fathers or their mothers. In other words, why is it acceptable for the black man raised by a black woman without his dad to reject a black woman raised by her mother without her dad? I think sometimes black men can be guilty of a double standard where we want a perfect offering when we ourselves are not a perfect offering.
Okay, so I wasn't going to go through this whole interview and just talk about everything that he said, but this specific clip, I seen it on TikTok, and I started to make a video a while back about this, which I kind of already did, I just never posted it. But a question that I had was, you see so much back and forth between black men and black women when it comes to the father not being in the home, and she's too masculine and all of these different type of things. But a question that I had was, if I come from that, if I come from a dysfunctional family, it's just like, okay, I have all brothers. So if my brothers went around and they said, you know, women are masculine and they come from these single parents is, you know, ruining women, and, you know, they have these strong opinions about women and saying that, you know, they were raised by fathers so they don't know how to be submissive to men. And if they had this strong stance on women, then I would ask my brothers, because like I just said, I have all brothers. I would ask them, how are you exempt from having to do the work, but I'm having to do the work? That doesn't make sense to me. You can't tell me that I need to go to therapy or I need to work on these type of things when you had the same abandonment wounds, or you had similar trauma, or you experienced it in a different way, but it's showing up differently for you. You know, you might be in a toxic relationship with a woman as well, but you're also repeating, or you're also subconsciously having these different behaviors or different patterns that you're working through yourself. So what makes you different from me if we both came from the same environment? I don't understand that. So for me, that's why a lot of times when I do these videos, I'm trying to talk to women and I'm trying to talk to men, and I'm not trying to tell a man what to do. However, like I said, I have all brothers, and if my brothers was to go around and to say certain things about women, black women specifically, when you might have similar struggles and you came from the same environment, you came from the same place, you came from the same broken home, what makes you different from me? What like I said, what makes me have to do the work and you don't? And then you go around and you say, well, you just choose women that got fathers and that had dads in the homes and these different type of things to get ahead, when everybody doesn't have that. Everybody doesn't have that starting point, and everybody can't get a head start. So where do you start? I mean, you have to unlearn certain things too. And it takes a spiritual journey. It takes having a spiritual awakening, and it takes being in a different space than you normally would. That's going to require something that I'm just being honest, but most men don't even know how to tap into. That's why a lot of times in certain relationships, women are reflecting back to them things that they see within them, but they can't see it themselves because they are too busy not recognizing that, hey, or taking accountability themselves for the relationship as well. That's why when you get people who say, oh, my ex was this or my ex was that, and then they talk bad about people who they've been with in the past, is because you haven't learned that lesson. You have not learned that lesson. And until you can get on a spiritual path to understand why certain things are happening to you, that is all connected to your childhood, that is all connected to really learning yourself and the spiritual work that you need to do, then you'll understand that, hey, these are things that I need to work through. But everything that he said within that was true. And it's just like, at what point do y'all say, all right, like, I got personal development to do myself too. Like, I can't point the finger at somebody when I haven't done the personal development work. Either half of men that I've even had conversations with don't even want to go to therapy. They don't even want to go to therapy. Majority of them may not even have a mentor. Majority of them may not have somebody that's a life coach or any positive role models in their life. Or they might not be going to church. It's just so many different things, and it's a different case for each person, for each man, for each woman. But I do see more women doing the work than men. And so it's like, there are women who are doing things, but it seems like they're waiting on men to catch up. And so, like I said, this is not a diss, but there's so many things that, like I said, there's another video that I have where I talk about the Maslow's hierarchy. A lot of those times, you know, people are focused on the basics. They're focused on the basic needs. They're focused on survival. So a lot of people are still down there at the bottom of that pyramid, at the bottom. A lot of people haven't learned to love and learn how to belong and build community and all these things. Like, you have to get to self-actualization. If you haven't made it to self-actualization, then there's a lot of women that you're not going to connect with, and a lot of women are going to not want to be with you if you do not have what you would call emotional intelligence, or you do not have what is called empathy, or you do not have what is called just a basic understanding on how to connect with women. So yeah, that's just my little spiel. And maybe I should do more of these videos and respond to content, because I do it on TikTok. But I hope I made a little bit of sense, and I hope I didn't bash anybody or anybody feel some type of way. But like I said, I'm just speaking for my personal experience. A lot of times, you know, people think that they don't have to work through certain things, that it'll just work itself out on its own. Money does not heal everything. So, and stuff will not work out on its own by you ignoring it, by you ignoring your past, by you ignoring every single experience that you've had. It just don't work that way. You gotta work through it. You gotta face yourself. And it's time for women and men to start facing themselves. So I hope you all enjoyed this video today, and I will see y'all in my next one. Peace.